Imagine standing in front of a stone so massive it dwarfs you entirely. It's history. Centuries before modern construction, ancient hands molded mountains with nothing more than patience, precision, and raw understanding of nature. No chisels rang out, no iron struck rock. Instead, they listened, they observed, they waited. When we gaze upon the colossal stone structures of our ancestors, many believe divine beings must have crafted these wonders. But behind the mystery lies something even more astonishing: human ingenuity, refined over generations. Instead of smashing rock, they coaxed it. Heat was their tool, fire their sculptor. By heating sections of stone, then pouring cool water along fault lines, they created cracks, peeled layers, split boulders, slowly, quietly, effectively. Mixed with water and pulled across surfaces using wooden tools and endless repetition, it ground through stone like time itself. Grain by grain, form emerged. Curves, edges, symmetry, achieved not with force, but with focus. But how did they shape holes? You might expect them to use wedges. After all, it's the obvious choice when you need to make a hole in a rock, right? Well, yes, but that's not what they did. Ancient stonemasons had a different trick up their sleeves, or should I say, up their sticks. Because instead of using wedges, they used expanders. A dry stick inserted into a drilled groove, soaked with water, would expand. The pressure exerted by this expanding stick was immense, and they learned to control it so well that over hours the rock would respond. Every mark on these ancient structures tells a story of trial, error, triumph. Each groove, each curve, whispering tales of the people who toiled here, of their skill, their sweat, their sheer will. But why does this matter today? Why should we care about how they shaped stone without a hammer or chisel? Because in a world rushing for faster, louder, stronger, we forget what slow mastery looks like. These people left no blueprints, no selfies, structures that refuse to fall: temples, tombs, homes carved into cliff faces still standing long after their builders vanished. So how did they do it? Knowledge of their materials, of nature's rhythms, and of the tools hidden in plain sight. Take, for instance, the art of creating domes. These structures, symbols of permanence, were not just plopped down. They were grown from the inside out. Starting with a small fire, they would build up layer by layer, letting each stone find its place, guided by the laws of balance and geometry. It was the outcome of countless attempts, each one refining the next. Imagine the countless stones that broke, rolled away, or simply didn't fit until they got it right. Yet somehow we often overlook this truth. We marvel at the finished dome, but rarely pause to consider the journey beneath it, the countless attempts, the corrections, the sheer stubbornness of purpose that went into making it whole. The patience, the fact that they didn't need a roaring jackhammer to do what they set out to do. Now let's talk about collaboration, because these builders weren't lone wolves. They worked together, sharing skills, knowledge, and likely stories around fires that mirrored the flames shaping the stone. In a world that often celebrates the lone genius, it's easy to overlook this. But perhaps some of the greatest feats are less about individual brilliance and more about collective wisdom. Yet amidst this harmony, there was still room for individuality. Each artisan likely brought their unique touch, their personality seeping into the very stone. And when you think about it, what greater canvas is there than a mountainside? How they shaped stones without a hammer or chisel is a testament to human resilience. The process was slow, painstaking work. It demanded a deep connection to the land, respect for its moods, and an understanding of its language. They didn't just carve stone, they coaxed stories out of it, patiently extracting tales that had slept beneath the earth for millennia. As you stand before these ancient wonders, let the silence speak to you. Don't just see the finished product. See the journey in every line, every indentation, every angle. Because it's there that the true story lies, the story of human resilience, creativity, and above all, the quiet triumph of shaping giants without a hammer or chisel. These builders didn't conquer nature, they collaborated with it. They didn't just dig into the earth, they danced with it, coaxing, persuading, splitting, fitting until the mountains sang into submission. I'll let you in on a little secret. The ancient builders weren't superhumans. They weren't blessed with mystical powers. They were ordinary people with extraordinary will. They learned from their environment, from the patterns in nature, from the rhythm of seasons. Then over time, they refined techniques that would put our modern impatience to shame. So the next time you're faced with a challenge that seems as immovable as stone, remember these patient giants. Remember that they didn't need a loud, brash approach to achieve greatness. It's something far more potent, quiet, steady determination. Archaeologists discovered remnants of ropes, wooden pulleys, and stone weights used to harness leverage in ways modern builders admire. Every mark tells a story of trial, error, triumph. What's the most impressive part? They achieved all this without a single blueprint. Yes, you heard me right, no blueprints. Yet their structures stand as silent witnesses to an era long past, proving that what the heart conceives, the hand can achieve slowly, surely, magnificently. They didn't just build, they sculpted. They didn't just shape stone, they wove stories into the very fabric of mountains. They were architects of dreams, masons of memories, artists of eternity. And if you ever stand before their creations, listen closely. The wind sighing through ancient stones has tales to tell, tales of the fire that warmed their hands, the sweat that beaded on their brows, the laughter that echoed as each rock found its place. So let the mountains speak. Let their silent stories wash over you, reminding you that some things are worth waiting for. Some journeys are worth taking slowly, and some victories are worth celebrating in silence. After all, it's not the loudest tools that leave the deepest marks, but the quietest hands that shape the enduring legacies. But you, dear viewer, you're part of the story now. Your eyes have beheld these marvels, your mind has grappled with their creation, and your heart has carried a piece of this history within it. The question is, what will you do with that privilege? Will you let it stir your soul to action? You find inspiration in the patient hands that shaped these giants? Or will it fade, becoming just another tale told and retold until it loses all meaning? Here's the truth. If you let it, this journey through time will change you. It will plant seeds of patience, understanding, and most importantly, action. The choice is yours. Will you pick up the metaphorical hammer and chisel not to smash but to create? Will you find beauty in the slow dance of shaping stone without a hammer or chisel? And will you carry that appreciation, that understanding, that reverence for the slow, deliberate work that shapes our world? It's a big ask, I know, but that's how stories work. They don't just entertain, they transform. Stay with us, nudging, inspiring, challenging us to be better. This story has been part of your day, but now it needs to become part of you. I'll end where I began, with a question. Can you hear the mountains calling? Do you feel the echoes of ancient hammers that never were, chisels that never rang? Can you sense the spirit of those who danced with stone? If you can, then this moment is more than just a blip in your day. It's a turning point, a decision to value the slow, deliberate work that shapes our world, a commitment to finding beauty in the quiet corners of history. And if you can't hear their call, if the silence means nothing to you, then perhaps it's time to listen a little harder, to look a little longer, and to appreciate the extraordinary in the ordinary. For it's in these moments of quiet contemplation that we truly connect with the giants of our past. Not just those who walk the earth, but those whose spirits linger in the stones. Now, my friends, it's your turn to join the conversation. What resonated with you the most? Patience, the collaboration, the resilience, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts. Let your voice join the chorus of those who appreciate the quiet symphony of shaping giants without a hammer or chisel.